Presenting clips about interesting people isn't the only reason why this channel's around. It's also there to find out more about yourself. For example, here's a list of reasons why you could get killed. Number 1, you're a communist. Number 2, you're an atheist. Number 3, you didn't hit the like button. Number 4, you're breathing. You disagree with us? Fine. Number 5, you disagree. But wait, Tooky feller, how do you know so much about me? Well, this list was actually made by Roman von Ungern-Sternberg, and the Bloody Baron intended it for all of us. If you are to believe the pathetic ones, aka normal human beings, the Mad Baron was a descendant of Attila the Hun, pirates, crusaders, Lex Luthor, and every other villain known to man. However, the Baron was born into a Baltic German noble family. His full name was Robert Nikolai
2,000 years later
von Ungern-Sternberg. Although he had no Slavic blood, the Baron was as much of a Russian nationalist and monarchist as they come, always ready to cheerfully point out that 72 of his ancestors died for Russia, even when the conversation didn't really need that trivia. Since a young age, it was obvious that the Baron was not a tender soul. He was always in trouble in school, fighting with other students and teachers. When the Russo-Japanese War broke out, the 19-year-old Baron asked to be transferred to Siberia, but he was denied as he wasn't yet a cadet. So he joined the Cossacks, fought in the war, and received a medal. At this point, the Baron already showed his fighting method had a complete disregard for his own life. He was wounded multiple times but never stopped and charged alone at enemies. The Baron became an officer in the Cossack army where he hung out with Cossacks and Mongols. He was taught their insane and brutal fighting skills, learned to speak Mongolian, and became spiritual, making a weird and unique collaboration between Protestantism and Buddhism. As an officer, the Baron allowed his soldiers to drink and use drugs as much as they want, as long as they retained their capability to easily murder someone. A group of his men overdid it, so the Baron just kindly asked them not to repeat it. Well, he didn't ask them, he sent them into a freezing lake and made them fight wolves with bare hands, but he did it kindly. World War I was warmly greeted by the eager Baron, who on horseback, armored with lances and swords, charged at Austrian machine guns. His fanatical approach was becoming fascinatingly ridiculous. He received many medals, including the Cross of St. George. After the war, communists started doing their thing, which didn't go well with the monarchistic Baron. The Civil War broke out and the Baron joined the Tsarist White Army. He started looting and ambushing the Bolshevik supplies, killing atheists and communists in various creative and distasteful ways. If he decapitated someone, Baron saw it as a favor so the guy wouldn't reincarnate into such a little sissy. He did all this just to restore the Tsar. I guess nobody had the courage to tell him that the communists had already captured and killed the dude the Baron was fighting for. However, Roman's private army was always going to be weaker than the ever-growing Soviets. So the Baron gladly accepted the invitation from the Mongolian Khan to do his thing with the occupying Chinese. Baron sent his army of local fortune tellers and shamans to scare the people in the capital and set out a horseman of the apocalypse vibe. Baron set the hills surrounding the city on fire, rode in on a white horse armed with just a bamboo stick. The Chinese felt as if they were offered to be a sacrifice to the gods. And, well, they weren't wrong. Mongolia was proclaimed independent and the Tibetan Dalai Lama declared Baron to be the incarnation of God of War. Seeing how successfully he became a Mongol warlord, the Baron had an idea of creating a huge Eurasian empire. First step to that, the Soviets. Lenin realized that the Bloody Baron was the last thing stopping him from winning the Civil War and focused everything on defeating him. Baron in turn felt that he could win and guided his private army on horseback into a battle against trucks, tanks, machine guns and airplanes. His troops were destroyed and they had to retreat. Baron wanted to regroup and attack again, but the remaining soldiers mutinied and almost killed him. The Soviets found Baron half naked, bound on the steppe with just his religious talismans around his neck. They took him and sentenced him to death. At the day of the execution, the Baron swallowed the Cross of St. George so that the communists couldn't have it. As the firing squad shot at his chest, one of the bullets ricocheted off the talisman and severely injured one of the soldiers. Even in death, Mad Baron did what Mad Baron does. Hey guys, a quick announcement. We'll be taking a short break from videos over the summer. We'll be away for 2 months, after which there'll be more weekly videos from us. Thanks for watching so far, hope you have a cool summer. See you in September.